Taxation is the act of laying a tax. Taxes are the lifeblood of the nation. Without increased revenue from taxation, the government will survive, resulting in detriment to society. Taxes are what we pay for civilized society. Without taxes, the government would be paralyzed for lack of motive to power, activate, and operate aid. Taxes are compulsory contribution to support the state. It is considered as the lifeblood of government, that without which a government may be able to perform an expenditure or financial by tax revenues. The right of government to tax income emanates from its partnership in the production of income by providing the protection, resources, incentive, and the proper climate for such productions. The person subject to income tax. First is the taxpayer. The term taxpayer means any person subject to income tax imposed by the tax code. And then, classification of taxpayers. What are the tax classification? For income tax purposes, taxpayers are classified generally as individuals, corporations, partnerships, and states and trusts. The payment of income tax. The general rule is pay as you file. The capital gains tax and regular income tax are paid as the taxpayer files his returns. Installment payment of income tax allowed on certain conditions. What is employer or employee relationship? Employer refers to any person to whom an individual performs any service of whatever nature as employee of such person. And the employee is referred to any individual who is recipient of wages and includes officer, employee or elected official of the government of the Philippines or any political subdivisions, agencies, or instrumentally thereof. So the following are not considered employees. 1. Consultants, directors without management functions. The third is talents and artists on TV shows or radio broadcasts. The income or fees of these individuals are not compensation income, but are business or profession income. So what is business expense and personal expense? So when we say business expenses are cost of doing trade, business or practice of professions. For example, employee salaries, office utilities, supplies, rent, and taxes. So when we say personal expense, include the living and family expenses of individual taxpayer, such as family food, personal transportation, medication, home, rentals, and utilities. That's are the difference between personal and business expense. The separation of business expense and personal expenses of individual income taxpayer is important because only business expense are deductible. For purposes of regular tax, individual income taxpayers are classified as pure compensation income earner, pure business or professional income earner, and the last is mixed income earner. Then, the 8% optional tax shall be based upon the gross sales or gross receipt of the individual taxpayer that is subject to 3% percentage tax. Other income subject to regular tax are added to the basis. About the taxation system here in the Philippines, there are many kinds of taxes in the Philippines, but we can group them into two basic types, namely, first, the national taxes, and the second is the local taxes. When we say national taxes are those that we pay to the government through the Bureau of International Revenue. Our national taxation is based on the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 or the Republic Act Number 8424, otherwise known as the Tax Reform Act of 1997 as amended according to the Department of Finance data. The Philippines currently imposes a corporate income tax rate of 30%, but with a tax collection efficiency of only 12.3%. By imposing taxes on goods and services, the government can discourage unnecessary consumption and production and ensure that resources are used more efficiently. The Philippines uses taxes to redistribute income and wealth in society. So that's the insight in the taxation system here in the Philippines. So all I can see is taxes are very important especially to the government, because it's very helpful to all of us, not just in other people, but to all of us, because taxes are many things to do to our expenditure, just like for school, the project which is build with build. So taxes is a big impact all of us. But for now, that's the idea that I learned to this module. And I treasure it, and I can apply the idea that I learned in this module. So that's all. Thank you, and God bless us all.